I do appreciate those administrators who are with us this morning. We've had so much happening in this district. This was scheduled for February the 14th, but of course you all know what we've been through, and that includes an audit of the Food Service Department. So that's why we are so late with our awards presentation this year, but we felt that it was due and that your schools needed to be recognized for the hard work that they did during National School Lunch Week.
This is a great event. I was just telling Dr. Sivak that food service, the National School Lunch Week is a huge deal. I remember as a building principal, we really would get excited at our schools, wherever that was, when it was elementary or middle or high school. We really would get excited about National School Lunch Week. The camaraderie, the motivation, the excitement that you would see in buildings was contagious during that week. Everybody really got up to make sure that we did a good job in those buildings to be recognized. So today is a special day where we recognize those schools that were awarded for that participation. As always, I want to thank those food service workers for the work that you do and those principals in the buildings. We know that many times it goes without recognition, but we appreciate you. I personally appreciate you for what you do. We could not do the work that we do without you. So we thank you and we celebrate you today. Thank you.
You know, it's always interesting how we look for those persons who will guide us through our program. And we've had some names of individuals that we've been very proud of who were just excited, as Dr. Murray said, to come and be a part of this celebration. And I said, now we have some outstanding people in this district who can do the same thing. And this morning, I'm just very pleased to introduce one who is going to guide our program. Miss Shanita McDonald says that she's the epitome of every woman. Epitome of every woman. She is the daughter of the late Leroy and Doris McDonald. Her mother worked in this district and retired as a teacher from Bradley Elementary School. She's the sister of Dr. LaShonda McDonald Graham and one beautiful niece who is a student at Northwest Middle School, and a handsome nephew. Her parents instilled in her in life that only what you do for Christ will last. She is a proud product of Jackson Public Schools. She is a graduate of Bailey High School for health-related professions. She attended Hines Community College, received a Bachelor of Science degree in education from Jackson State University, which I won't hold against her, and a master's degree in education from Belhaven University and an educational specialist degree from Mississippi College. We have some talented people in this district. She is currently the instructional interventionist at Barr Elementary School. She's a member of DST, and she attends True Light Missionary Baptist Church, where she's a very active member.
It is an honor and privilege to serve as your mistress of ceremony on today. As we all know, providing adequate amounts of nutritious food in schools is more important than many realize. Students who eat regular, healthy meals are less likely to be tired, they are more attentive in class, and retain more information. Lunch has and will probably always be known as the overlooked favorite class of all time. It is the class that has the best attendance. It is the class that has the highest attention rates. It is the class that has the highest performance rates. Today, we celebrate JPS Food Service cafeterias and schools who have made this subject area a success. Every year, the School Nutrition Association sponsors National School Lunch Week during the second week in October. The celebration is held to highlight the Food Service Department and the importance of school lunch. Most of our children attend schools for 6 hours a day and consume as much as half of their daily calories at school. Eating nutritious meals while they are at school keeps students healthy and ready to learn. The theme for this celebration was School Lunch, Recipes for Success. This year, we were fortunate to have competition for 4 whole days. On some days, schools were divided into groups because of the number of participants in some categories. We had Tuesday, which was All-American Day. Wednesday was Farm to School, Good Old County Living. Thursday, Mama Mia's Pizzeria Day. And Friday, which was Superstar Salad Bar Day. We will begin with the elementary schools. Tuesday's theme, All-American Day. Third place winner was McWillie Elementary. Miss Bobby Wilkerson, Food Service Manager, Dr. Sarah Harper, Principal. Accepting the award will be retired manager, Miss Rosie Lee. Second place, Watkins Elementary. Miss Kelly Powell, Food Service Manager, and Dr. Josie Blake, Principal. Our first place winner is Dawson Elementary. Miss Janice Hurst, Food Service Manager, and Miss Vicki Conley, Principal. That concludes our elementary school winners for All-American Day. Now we will present awards to the middle schools for Tuesday All-American Day. Third place, Peoples Middle School. Mr. Al Fairley, Food Service Manager, and Dr. Carrie M. Gray, Principal. Also, third place, we have Hardy Middle School, Mr. Fairley, Food Service Manager, and Mr. Vertus Holmes, Principal. Our second place winner, Sywell Middle School. Ms. Sandra Fuquay, Food Service Manager, Mr. Donald Boyd, Principal. And our first place winner, we have Blackburn Middle School. Ms. Flora McBride, Food Service Manager, and Dr. LaQuana Nelson, Principal. Now we will have Wednesday, Farm to School Day, Good Old County Living. We have two groups in the elementary category. Group 1, third place winner, North Jackson Elementary. Food Service Manager is Ms. Greta Dishman, and the Principal is Ms. Kimberly Smith. Our second place winner, Johnson Elementary. Ms. Hazel Collins, Food Service Manager, Dr. Faye Strong, Principal. First place winner, Galloway Elementary. Ms. Deborah Vaughn, Food Service Manager, Mr. Marvin Davis, Principal. Group 2, honorable mention, Clausell Elementary. Stacy White, Food Service Manager, Ms. Latoya Blackshear, Principal. Our first place winner for Group 2 is Woodville Heights. Ms. McLeod, Food Service Manager, and Dr. Lynn Horton, Principal. Let's give the elementary schools a big round of applause. Next, we will have our middle schools. Honorable mention, Hardy Middle School, Mr. Fairley, Food Service Manager, and in Mr. Holmes' place, we'll have Dr. Nadia Simpson. Second place, Peoples Middle School, Mr. Al Fairley, Food Service Manager, Dr. Carrie M. Gray, Principal. Our first place winner for this category is Roanne. Mr. Clifford Austin, Food Service Manager, Dr. Shanitra Burst Dawson, Principal. We'll have Mr. Larry Armstrong in her place. Our high schools are up next. We have only one high school to participate, and that one high school is first place, Merle High School. Mr. Greg White, Food Service Manager, and Dr. Alvinette Buchanan, Principal. He is clean today. Let's show Merle High School some love with a big round of applause. We will now move on to Thursday, Mama Mia's Pizzeria Day. Again, on Mama Mia's Pizzeria Day, elementary has two groups. Group 1, third place, Pecan Park. Miss Lisa Skipper, Food Service Manager, Miss Wanda Kwan, Principal. Second place, we have Marshall Elementary, Miss Carla Kent, Food Service Manager, and Miss Helen Young, Principal. Accepting the award will be Supervisor Mr. Mark Rowe. Our first place winner for Group 1 will be Key, Miss Mary Thomas, Food Service Manager, and Miss Dion Woody, Principal. Group 2, third place, Watkins Elementary, Miss Kelly Powell, Food Service Manager, Dr. Josie Blake, Principal. Second place, Walton Elementary, Miss Angela Hall, Food Service Manager, Mr. Mathis Sheriff, Principal. Second place, Power APAC, Miss Aquita Pellman, Food Service Manager, and Dr. Sandra Reed, Principal. Accepting the award will be Manager Mr. Greg White.
And I have news for y'all. Mr. White has cleaned everything.
Our first place winner is G.N. Smith, Ms. Ella McIntyre, Food Service Manager. Mr. Benjamin Torrey, Principal. Moving on to the middle schools and high schools. The middle school winners on Mama Mia's Day were third place, Chastain Middle School. Ms. Shribling, Food Service Manager. Mr. Harrison Michael, Principal. Our second place winner for this category is People's Middle School. Mr. Al Fairley, Food Service Manager. Dr. Carrie Gray, Principal. First place, Hardy Middle School. Mr. Fairley, Food Service Manager. Dr. Nadia Simpson is standing in their place. We had the Fairleys in running each day, dad and son. Let's give these winners a hand. This brings us to high school for Mama Mia's Pizzeria Day. We have first place, Capital City. Ms. Carolyn Jones, Food Service Manager. Dr. Philonda Addison Ross, Principal. This brings us to the last day of celebrating National School Lunch Week, Superstar Salad Bar Day. Beginning with elementary, we have 2 first place winners and 2 third place winners. Third place, French Elementary, Ms. Erda Richards, Food Service Manager. Ms. Rashonda Clark, Principal. Also third place, we have Davis Magnet, Mr. Darnell Brown, Food Service Manager. Dr. Kathleen Grigsby, Principal. Standing in for Dr. Grigsby is Ms. Aura Dixon. Our first place winners, John Hopkins, Ms. Sheila Braddock, Food Service Manager. Dr. Donald Black, Principal. Our first place winner is Lake Elementary, Ms. Sharon Howard, Food Service Manager. Accepting the award will be Mr. Edgar Kerb, Food Service Assistant, and Ms. Lakeisha Sutton, Principal. Let's give them a round of applause. Now we will have our middle schools. For middle schools, third place, Hardy Middle School again. Mr. Fairley, Food Service Manager. Mr. Vertis Holmes, Principal. Second place, Chastain Middle School. Ms. Shribling, Food Service Manager. Mr. Harrison Michael, Principal. And our first place winner for this category is People's Middle School. Mr. Al Fairley, Food Service Manager. Dr. Carrie Gray, Principal. The Fairleys are cutting up. Last but not least are the high schools. We have first place again, Murrah High School. Mr. Greg White, Food Service Manager. Dr. Alvanette Buchanan, Principal. This concludes our awards presentations. Now let's give a round of applause to all schools who participated. This year we had 19 elementary, 6 middle, and 2 high schools to participate. Thanks to all the judges who had a hard task of deciding the winners in each category on all 4 days. As a JPS lunch fed educator, it has been my pleasure serving as your mistress of ceremony.
I often get a chance, me and Dr. Mary meet, and we talk about if there's any shortcoming of Jackson Public Schools internally, it's that we don't give a chance to say thank you and congratulations to each other enough. We try to make it a practice that when we come into schools, cafeterias, everywhere, that we say it. We want to thank you for your efforts. I looked up the word fortress, and if you read it in the dictionary, you'll see that it better describes buildings and military stand fast positions and all that. But when you have an organization that the state auditor comes into, and when he gives me his end briefing, he says, Dr. Lockett, we're just going to go through the process. I really don't worry about food service, Jackson Public School, fortress. When you get an organization that comes through when there was a water crisis and the city was trying to figure out things, the health department was trying to figure out things, but Mary Hill and her organization said, we got it, Doc. The children will be fed, the food will be healthy, sanitary, water conditions, we got it, Doc. Fortress. I want to compliment each and every one of you from Ms. Hill's central office staff to the schools that you are truly a fortress in this district. The children expect no better than to have a quality meal and a quality food service. The faculty and staff, principals, if they could take one thing off their slate, they table each day, it's food service. So when we get everybody operating on the level that food service is operating on, you will never have to wonder what the state accountability score will be. Because if it's an A in food service, and we catch on to the mission of food service, it'll be an A in the classroom. So I want to compliment you today. I am proud and honored to be a part of this organization. And Ms. Hill always tell me 99 just won't do. That's where we're at. 99 will not do. We're looking for 100. Thank you, and keep up the great work, not the good work. Thank you.
You know, I'm a regular at Subway and Jimmy John's, but it sounds like I may need to start going to People's and Hardy for lunch. You know, if a child is hungry, she has trouble learning. If a child is hungry, he may not get along as well with other people in the school. I want you all to know from the board, all of us, that we appreciate you. We don't take you for granted. We thank you. I think that no more was it self-evident than in January, not only the important role that you all play in our district, but the essential role that you play in helping us move forward in supporting our children. I know at times it was a hard year. We thank you. And from a parent's perspective, today is about celebrating going the extra mile, about creating an environment where our children aren't just going, but are excited to go and happy to go and proud to go. So we appreciate that. And again, thank you.
And certainly our programs would not be the success that they are without the leadership in the buildings and the cooperation that you give us as a department. So I just want to thank you again, administrators, for the support that you give us. And I want you to know that I appreciate it along with our staff, because we are as one. And we're not a separate entity, and we're all about the same mission. And that mission is feeding children.